Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, August 8th, 2014. Thank you all for tuning in. There's a lot going on in the markets today. There's a lot of geopolitical events, as you all know about. Last night we did have a pretty good sell-off in Asia. Really Japan. Japan was down about 3% last night, which is a major decline. Europe today is kind of flat. You do have Italy rallying, up 1.3%. And the German DAX, which is probably the most important European index, flat on the session. The FTSE 100, which is England, they print their own money. They're down about 0.3%. So all in all, we're seeing a market that is stable this morning, which is a little bit of a surprise, but futures were down overnight. But you could see here, they've come roaring back. So right around 3 o'clock in the morning, the S&P 500 E-mini futures have come roaring back. They're all the way up to 1912.5 per contract. So that's a pretty big move, considering they were testing the 1890 level last night around 3:30 in the morning. So we'll see how this all shakes out and plays out. What's the catalyst for the rally here, or for the move higher? That's the big question. And I think if you take a look at a dollar-yen chart, you'll get a good glimpse of it. So dollar-yen, which is still negative on the trading day, right around 2:30 in the morning, 2:45, starts to put in a low and starts to rally up. Dollar-yen goes higher, so does the stock market. Dollar-yen goes lower, so does the stock market. There are days that it won't work, but for the most part it will. So I think everybody should keep an eye on that. Either way, futures are up about 7 points at the moment, but we're going to look at some stocks now, and we'll see what's moving out there. First off the bat, we're going to take a look at McDonald's. McDonald's came out with news today saying that their food scare in China is worse than expected. It's going to shake up the company's earnings for the next quarter or so. Stock has support at $91.12. So if it does get down there, you want to pick up McDonald's today. That probably is going to be the level. After that, it could go lower, but good scalp level I'm seeing right now is around $91.12 should the stock trade down to that area. So keep that on your radar today. The next one we want to look at is NVIDIA. This is a major chip maker. I believe they came out with earnings. The company, I think, beat by 2 pennies or something like that. You could read all about the news. We really don't care about it. But right now the stock's trading at $18.17. It closed at $17.46. So good little move. If the stock can trade higher, and what I mean by that is if it can get into the $19 level, watch 1920 to 1950. That's where the stock should stall out. It could be a fade even at that level for a potential scalp. So I'm not sure if it even gets up there, but it's acting real well this morning. So if it does and the market's strong, I suppose there's a shot. If it gets up to around 1920 to 1950, that's where the stock should stall out. And I think it will even fade around that level. The other level I have, if it does come down further, would be $16.38. That's where you can be a buyer of NVIDIA this morning. So again, be a buyer at $16.38, be a seller at $19.20 to $19.50. All right, let's go over to the next one here on my list is SolarCity, SCTY. It looks like they came out with some news as well. I guess they got a smaller than expected loss. So that's the news on SolarCity. You could check it out for yourself again. Right now the stock is trading at $77.20. It closed at $75.63. I just don't know if there's a lot of upside here for SolarCity, but the stock is still very, very strong. Double top resistance will be around $88.50, $88.35. So you got to give the stock the benefit of the doubt. If it does start to come down, the only level I'm seeing for SolarCity today that even would attract me would be probably around $60. So this is a tough one, but nonetheless, stock is trading higher. So if it does rally higher, it has a lot more to go. It's in an uptrend. It's been a very, very strong equity, but if it fails here, it can come down to the $60 level. Let's take a look at NWSA, which is News Corp, and the stock right now is trading at around $17.50, closed at $17.42. I don't see anything great here for News Corp. A level that would give you a bounce, though, would be around the $16.70, $16.65 level. So keep that on the radar for News Corp. That's where the stock will find some short-term support. Let's take a look at another media company, CBS. Right now, CBS is trading at 57 and a quarter. The stock closed at 56.90. There's nothing to do here with CBS. If it does fall, there's still a lot of support around $56. Let's take a look at Monster Beverage, MNST. This is the old Hanson Natural, for those of you that used to trade this along with me back in the day. The stock is trading at $68 at the moment. It closed at $65.10. So the upside on Hanson Natural would be $70.15, $70.20, somewhere in that vicinity, give or take a few pennies. That will be probably a very good resistance level, potential fade level intraday. And then you have Monster Beverage support. If by some chance the stock did come down sharply, you'd look at $61.45. So again, it will have very good support at $61.45 today. Let's take a look at Mercado Libre. This is going to be a gap play this morning in the chat room. Stock's trading at 105.50. Great move. It closed at 93.90. This has always been a big mover, but we've traded this a lot on earnings and things of that nature. So we're going to have some gap levels for this one in the chat room. They'll be posted up around 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's take a look at Lionsgate Film. LGF is the ticker symbol. I believe they had earnings as well, but you can check it out for yourself. I looked at all this stuff earlier. Right now, the stock is trading at around $31. It closed at $30.35. It has upside potential to $33 and say 10 cents, $33.20. No more than that. That's probably a fade level. If it does come down, the stock could be bought at $28.21. So again, keep those levels on the radar going forward. Let's take a look at Gap stores today. GPS is the ticker symbol. Stock closed at $40.50. Good little gap up today, trading around 42. Great resistance level from what I'm seeing is $43.30, possibly $43.50. But right in that area is where the stock should fade if it does even get up that high. So again, that's what you would look at. Gap stores, if it did fall, still a lot of support at $39. And then another big support level, if that level failed, would be $36.40. All right, I'm going to move over to a couple of other gaps that we're going to be looking at this morning. And one of them is PODD, Pod. So I'm sure you've seen this company before. Stock's trading at $33.50 now. It's rebounded quite a bit from when I did the gap. But we're going to play this as a gap play. This is very, very thin, though, so it can be a big, big mover. We're going to look at the Mercado Libre. We're also going to look at HIBB today. This is Hibbett Sports. Right now the stock is trading at $44.50. I will have gap levels for this one. This one we played in the past during the gaps, and it has been we've done it pretty successfully. So hopefully we'll pile on some winners there. But we will have about 4 or 5 gap plays overall this morning. And again, all the gaps will be posted up in the chat room at 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's take a look at this TKMR. This is the potential drug maker for the Ebola virus. Stock spiked almost to $19, now has come down a little bit, trading around $16.64. This is still a pretty solid move. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to do, but keep this on the radar. I have very, very good resistance levels for this. I'll give to the chat room members later should the stock trade higher. So a great move on this TKMR. BCRX could be moving in sympathy with this as well, and sure enough it is, trading up around $13.44. So these are all some plays on the Ebola virus that are really spreading all throughout Africa, and even have some cases here in the U.S. now. Let's take a look at Lululemon. Lululemon's caught a bid based off of somebody, I guess somebody sold a piece to one of these investment firms. So the stock is trading up, but honestly, I don't see much on Lululemon. Still a ton of resistance around 42. All right, let's go over to the gold market. Gold is trading down about $2 today. Gold has been roaring and soaring lately, but today it is pulling back. It was up earlier. You see the GLD here is trading at around 125.90. That closed at 126.18. So you can see a little bit of a pullback. I think gold is just in a real choppy range here at the moment, but nothing terrible for gold right now. Let's take a look at the oil market. Light sweet crude is trading higher by 26 cents to $97.60 a barrel. If we take a look at the USO this morning, which is a good way to trade light sweet crude via the ETF, that's trading at around $36.18. So all in all, it's holding steady. I don't see anything great here for oil, and I don't see anything terrible. I do like oil at a lower price, though, just because it has been trending lower with all these geopolitical events. I'd rather get it on sale than get it here, but that's just my take on it, and we'll see how that all shakes out and plays out. But with that being said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day. It is Friday. Volume trends will get lighter as we get toward the afternoon hour. So again, we got to try to take advantage of the morning for the best chart setups. And again, I gave you plenty of equities that'll be in motion today. With that being said, have a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.